Hello, and welcome to the Master Essential Oils podcast. And I'm your hostess, Dana Mitchell. And today we're talking about one of my favorite oils, actually the very first oil I used when I started out with essential oils. And it is considered by some people to be the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. We are talking about lavender today. So lavender oil is a light floral type oil, and the essential oil is made from the flower of the lavender plant. And it's collected by a steam distillation process. Now, in ancient times, the Egyptians and the Romans used lavender for things like bathing, relaxation, cooking, and as perfume. Lavender has many, many uses, and as I said, some people consider it like the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. Not only is it great for calming and relaxation, and it helps support sleep, it is awesome for your skin. It is great when you have bumps, bruises, cuts, bug bites, any of those kind of things. And it is an awesome oil to take internally to assist with issues when you need an antihistamine. That is a little known fact that I was really surprised about. And let me give you a really interesting little tidbit of information. For the oil brand that I use, doTERRA, it takes 3 pounds of lavender flowers to make one 15 milliliter bottle. That is a lot of lavender flowers. You can use lavender aromatically, topically, and internally. Again, with my disclaimer that you make sure you use an oil that is appropriate for internal use, and you always want to check to make sure it's a pure oil and research where it comes from and that the brand you were using is approved for internal use. But I love lavender because it is incredibly versatile. So let me give you some ideas of ways to use lavender oil. Let's start out talking about lavender being used aromatically, and that is the smelling of the aroma. That is a great way that you can calm your body down if you have stress and anxiety. An aromatic method is a great way to let your body know that it's okay. No fight or flight. Calm that down really, really quickly. You can diffuse lavender by itself. And in a diffuser, I would put about 5 drops of lavender, depending on the size of your diffuser. And you can also add lavender to a spray bottle of water and spray it in your room. You could spray it on your sheets. You could spray it in your closet if you need to freshen it up. Another way that I use lavender is in my dryer. I have these cool dryer balls, and I just drop a couple drops of lavender on the dryer balls, and then I can freshen up our sheets and towels. So I love that smell of lavender as I'm crawling into bed. It lets my body know that it is time to calm down for the night. Now, the next way you can use lavender is topically, which is putting it on your body where you need it. So for bumps, bruises, bug bites, like any type of skin irritation, I love to just put lavender right directly on that. Lavender is amazing at helping your skin repair if you get a sunburn. So a little bit of lavender oil goes a long way in helping prevent your skin from peeling. It helps to repair that skin if you've been out in the sun. It helps to repair if you've gotten a bump or scratch or a bite. And bruising is a big thing for me personally. I am a bruise person. Anytime I have my blood taken, I just start dropping lavender directly on the area that my blood was taken. So you can use lavender neat, which means you don't have to use any type of carrier oil to dilute it. But I like to dilute my lavender in body lotion that's unscented or with coconut oil. The thick coconut oil is great that you can add a drop or two to like a little scoop of the thick coconut oil that a lot of people use for cooking. And I like to put that on my legs during the winter when the air is so dry. And then you can also use fractionated coconut oil, which is a type of coconut oil that remains liquid at room temperature. So it's really, really nice because you can make a roller ball or a roller bottle, as some people call it, of a few drops of lavender, and then top the rest of it off in a 10 milliliter roller. And then that way your kiddos can use it for themselves, and it's already pre-diluted for them. So I would recommend about 10 drops of lavender essential oil in a 10 milliliter roller bottle, and then top it off with the fractionated coconut oil. And that way your kids can feel empowered and grown up and using the oils by themselves. And I suggest have them roll it on the back of their neck or on their feet or even on their pillow. So lavender for internal use, again, remember my disclaimer, but you can use lavender when you're baking. You can use it for sugar delights, little sweets and things. You can use lavender in a veggie cap if you have those seasonal issues that I was talking about earlier. Lavender is so versatile, so many uses. So let me give you my favorite bruise away recipe. And this is to put oils into a roller bottle, and then you would top it off with fractionated coconut oil. So the essential oils you will need is 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of geranium, 10 drops cypress, 5 drops of frankincense, and 5 drops of helichrysum. And then put all this into a roller bottle and kind of go back and forth to mix in the oils with the coconut. And then you would use this on your bruise 2 to 3 times a day. Now, you're probably scrambling for a pencil to be able to write this down, but if you go to my website, www.masteressentialoils.com/podcast-005, I will have this recipe and some other ones in the show notes for you. Now, another blend, this is the Stay Asleep blend. You would make this in a 10 milliliter roller, and you would use 30 to 40 drops of lavender, 30 to 40 drops of vetiver, and 10 drops of frankincense. And you would put all of that in a roller bottle, 10 milliliters, top it off with fractionated coconut oil, and then apply that to the bottoms of your feet, the neck, or wrists at bedtime. So that recipe is for adults, and for children, you would not use that much essential oil in the recipe. You would really want to reduce that for dilution that's appropriate for kiddos. I'm going to turn the tables a bit and talk about how lavender essential oil can help with emotions. Lavender is termed the oil of communication and calm in this awesome reference book that I have, Emotions and Essential Oils. Lavender aids in verbal expression and calming of the mind, and it specifically calms insecurities that we may have when we're expressing ourselves. Lavender encourages emotional honesty and insists that one speaks their innermost thoughts and desires. So when you're dealing with negative emotions, such as blocked communication, fear of rejection, tension, racing thoughts, emotional dishonesty, hiding, fear of disclosure, feeling unseen or unheard, then lavender is your oil to go to. The other side of the coin, if you are trying to encourage open communication, to be calm, expressive, emotionally honest, self-aware, and have peace of mind, then again, lavender is your oil. So hopefully you have found some information in all of these different things that I've talked about today that have been helpful for you related to lavender. So that wraps up lavender. So let me just go back through a quick summary for you. Lavender means to wash in Latin, and it most likely is the most used essential oil globally. And that's because it is all things calming. It soothes emotions, it's great for supporting your restful sleep, and it's great for calming irritated skin, bumps, bruises, bites, all those kinds of things that can happen to kiddos, especially, and adults. And a little known fact is it can help with seasonal threats. So what a powerhouse lavender essential oil is. Thanks again for visiting the Master Essential Oils podcast, and you can find all the information that I talked about today on the show notes. Visit www.masteressentialoils.com. Thanks a lot, and I'll visit with you next time. Bye.